wine. Drink the drink that I have made. Hey, brother, pour the wine. Tell you why the day
Welcome, everybody. Welcome to Drink in the Style, brought to you by Habitation Design and the District Edina. I'm your host, Gregory Rich. Tonight's theme, rugs. Flooring rugs, not bad toupees. No offense to you, Johnson. I am joined by Valerie Underwood, Vice President at Loloi Rugs, one of the finest rug purveyors in the business. Valerie, welcome.
Thank you for having me. So great to be here tonight. I can't wait to tell you more about rugs.
And do you know everything there is to know about rugs? You've been in this business for how long?
In the home furnishings business, gosh, almost 35 years, but in rugs proper, combined 20 total, 10, a little break, and then almost 10, coming up on 10. So about 20.
Solid math. Well done.
Right? I know. It's because the alcohol hasn't really hit yet.
Which we're working on, because that was a beautiful transition over to our cocktailological segment. Today's cocktologist is the lovely Magen Theis.
Ooh, we love the Magen.
There should be like glitter, like you know what I'm talking about, like the glitter sound effect.
There should a little,
like
even for the guests.
Bells. Yes.
Which is actually, that's kind of the noise, the music we use for the swallowing music. We can do that.
Ooh,
Right.
delightful.
All right, that's going to be the introduction for our cocktologist, depending, of course, on who is in the cocktological chair. It'll work for. Is that a problem, Valerie?
Dentist, doctor, and cocktological
chair.
Yeah, of course.
I'm more than happy to coin that term. Oh my God. Ladies and gentlemen, this fall we will be having a special event so that we can advertise the offering of the cocktological chair, a new project or product that Habitation will be offering by invite only.
Love it.
God help us all. All right, Megan, what are we going to be drinking this evening?
The French 75.
Ooh.
Classic cocktail. All right, Johnson hits with some mixing music. And Megan, tell us what we're doing.
Okay, so I've pre-mixed most of this already, but I have 1.5 ounces of gin. I have Bombay dry gin today.
Works for me.
And then I have 3/4 ounce of lemon juice.
Very important. You gotta have that acid to brighten the thing up.
Fresh lemon juice is better.
So yeah, that's true. So be glad I didn't ask you to sit and milk some lemons.
Thank goodness. And then
Interesting visual.
3/4 ounce of simple syrup. And then you're gonna add that all to a shaker with ice.
Yeah.
We lost the Scoopy again.
It's in my office. Sorry. Last night was Rotary Club happy hour. I found a lot of things I was surprised in the office.
And you used the scoop.
I used the scoop. I know.
Who knew?
These days, if you reach into a bucket of ice with your bare hands, you might as well just lick someone with COVID.
I agreed. Agreed.
Exactly. All right. So we have got the basics mixed together, the gin, the lemon juice, the simple syrup.
Yes.
What a delightful, light, bright, lemony color.
It is. Thank
Isn't
you.
it?
So we're just pouring this into a glass.
Now we're using wine glasses, which is perfectly fine, and they're white wine glasses. Oftentimes, it's nice to use a flute, something
True.
like that. Nevertheless, the flute, I don't know. What do you think about the flute, Valerie?
So I'm pro flute for really celebrational, like holiday moments where you need to look a little more professional. But at home, I'm pretty much going to use, a giant wine glass because
Right.
the more the better.
Or the bottle.
And I don't need to, I don't really need to impress anyone with my flute. So just,
Fair enough.
a tub, a bowl.
Just the bottle
Who needs,
again.
who needs a flute?
It's the why create extra work?
Yes. So then we're going to top this off with a champagne or Prosecco.
All right. So here we go. Love the sound.
Woo!
Boom.
I love that
Nice.
sound.
All
It's my
right. And
favorite
may I?
sound.
Shall I?
Yeah, go
All right.
for
And
it.
what is the amount? So our glasses are half filled with gin and other.
Just do to the next line. That looks perfect.
And we've got a nice, I don't know if you call champagne a head or not. but a nice foamy head.
You do now.
I do now.
Yep, coined a new phrase for the French 75.
It was hatched in the cocktailological chair.
It was.
Hatched.
Seldom used, but highly effective.
Agreed. All right, there it is. This is a beautiful drink, by the way. And it's so alive as a cocktail.
It's effervescent.
It is effervescent. And people love, and the thing about champagne, sparkling wines, Prosecco, what have you, is that the carbonation gets into your bloodstream faster. So it's efficient.
Don't you love that?
Is that a myth or is that legit?
I think it's legit.
Oh.
I think it's
What's
legit.
the science behind that?
I believe that it is capillary action.
Okay. Interesting.
Johnson, don't fact check that. All right. So we have our French 75s in wine glasses ready to be tried. So let's hit our swallowing music and get this tested. It's delicious. It is always delicious.
It's perfection.
Nicely done, Megan.
I made a really sweet one at the district. And I was like, right before I got here, and I was like, oh, Greg's not going to like this.
Too much simple syrup?
Yeah.
Too sweet for Greg.
Yeah.
No. I know. No, I want hardcore alcohol. That's all there is to it.
This one's a bit better.
Sometimes, often people will use an ice cube that would be added instead of the simple syrup, kind of like with a Death in the Afternoon or an what do you call the Green Fairy? No, the Johnson, you know what I'm talking about. The green wormwood liquor that was illegal for years. Everybody drank it in Spain. Absinthe.
Yeah, that's
absinthe. So you pour absinthe over an ice cube to somehow create that sweetness level. And I know people do that with this as well, but the simple syrup works just fine.
This is perfection, honestly.
I agree completely. All right, we got a great drink. We got a great guest. This is going to be a great show. And we will kick it off with today's pretty random question. Are you ready, Miss Underwood?
I think I might be.
Excellent. What is the most beautiful place you've ever seen?
Which continent?
Ever. Anywhere. And keep it clean.
Oh, gosh. I think probably the most beautiful place I've ever seen, and there's a few in the running. Third place would probably go to Turks and Caicos. Second place would go to Hawaii. But if I had to pick only one, sadly, probably would pick the Amalfi Coast.
Really?
And funny enough about the Amalfi Coast, one of the things they're known for, if you've been to Positano or Amalfi, the giant lemon production over there. So it kind of ties in with our French 75 a little bit.
Oh my God. You see, you're just so good at everything you do. It is breathtaking. Truly. I've actually never been to the Amalfi Coast. I know. And Turks and Caicos, we were supposed to go to in March of 2020. That was postponed.
You'll love it. You should absolutely go. But yeah, the Amalfi Coast is one of the most stunning places. It's just absolutely beautiful. And I love lemons and I love the drink. And so it just kind of ties right in.
It does. Beautifully done. There was an exchange student from Italy that was here this summer. I took him boating. He was being sponsored by a member of my Rotary Club. By the way, Go Edina Rotary, of which I am a new new member. And Johnson, isn't Rotary District launching its own podcast?
Yeah, it is starting a week from this Sunday, or if you're listening to it on this weekend, 1 week from today, called Searching for Service. Check it out, 3:00 Sundays.
Perfect. Beautiful. We'll have to do a lot of cross promotion on that. So anyway, so he was from Italy and he lived on the Amalfi Coast. And apparently they had this beautiful house that has this beautiful guest house. So I have a place to go.
Nice. You will absolutely love it. It's fantastic. And the food and the everything about it. So
I love it. Fabulous. All right. Well, beautiful answer on that. We should probably take a quick break. And when we come back, we're going to start talking about rugs, details, how to use them, how to fix them, how to clean them. I don't know. Just all different
all good
rug
things
stuff.
To do with rugs.
Thank you, Valerie. All right. This is Drink in the Style on AM 950, the progressive voice of Minnesota.
Yeah, blue skies.
That's a beautiful track. Nicely chosen. Blue Skies.
Now, what's the protocol for drinking these? Do we wait to take a sip? Do we keep drinking? Does she make more?
Yes.
Thank God.
I know.
back in.
No. It's if that bottle won't be here at the end, that bottle won't
Mhm.
be. It's gonna be the easier way to come back to the building.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Well, lighter.
Well,
She'll be
lighter.
lighter.
Exactly.
We got plenty of champagne though.
We do.
If you just want to drink that too.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I mean,
I'm
like
not
the
opposed.
gin, but
Right.
Yeah, I'm not
You
opposed.
could take the bottle with you.
as long as I have a
Maybe a
buzz
little
by the
of
time I
this.
leave. Yeah, right. What's that, officer? Hold this
Nothing
for
I
me.
see here.
I don't know what you're talking about. It's an optical illusion.
Did I ever tell you? There's no way we're going to do this in an hour. Did I ever tell you the brilliant technique I have of when being pulled over?
Mm-mm.
Always park. Don't go to the far side of the road. Always park fairly close to the white line so that the cop has to go around to the passenger side instead of coming right up to you.
Yeah. Yep.
Thank
yeah,
you.
that's good. That's good. I'm gonna use that
Thank you.
the next time I get pulled over
Need that, need that the more you
on
know sound effect.
I-35
Yep.
going north.
Yep.
From Iowa.
Is that, yeah, that is a cop trap. That's a speed trap, isn't it?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, yeah. And I made the deadly mistake of he pulled me over from like my blind spot. He
Mm-hmm.
wasn't even really behind me. So I thought he was like just putting on the lights, like get out of the way. So I dove to the left. He was livid. Livid. He's like, you know what side to pull over on? I was like, I was trying to get out of your way. I'm so sorry.
Did he?
Oh,
Did he?
Just a couple weeks ago.
Did he let you off the hook, or do you got to take it?
$175 later because I was 13 over.
Oh.
I got a buddy. I know a guy who was arrested for a DWI in a Tesla on self-driving mode. Fucking idiot put it at like 85.
Nice. Well done. Well done.
Makes me feel a little better knowing that he's off the roads, I suppose.
Yes.
All right, let's go and do segment number
Yeah,
2.
we got time to get 3 of the 4 done. We're good.
Okay.
All right. Here we go. Oh, we got to find some music here. Let's go back to Sinatra. Here we go.
Come fly with me, let's fly away. If you can use some exotic booze, there's a bar in far Bombay.
Welcome back to Drink in the Style. I'm your host, Gregory Rich. My guest is Valerie Underwood from Loloi Rugs. Our cocktail is a French 75. Our coctologist is Magen Theis. Our producer is Johnson.
Miss Johnson. Yeah.
Resounding endorsement for Johnson.
We love Johnson.
We do.
We-
We dearly love him.
The man is absolutely fantastic. Nothing could happen without him. Truly, you are a delight. And again, I love the toupee. It looks beautiful.
I've been trying different ones. Yeah. The red one didn't look good.
By the way, do you know why I like to call people by their last names?
Why is that?
Because I know a dozen Bretts.
Mm-hmm.
I know a lot of Johnsons, of course, but Johnson, you are Johnson. It's
The
easier
Johnson.
to remember that than a first name that gets mixed into all the other first
It's a
names.
good variety because, I mean, like you said, everyone's last name is Johnson. So no one ever calls me that because
Yeah, see,
8 other people will turn their head if you say that.
you should simply start going like that, just
Yeah.
like Prince, Johnson.
Yeah, like a Brazilian soccer player or Prince. Yes.
Exactly. Love it. All right. I'm glad I
Good
could help
idea.
you here. Ladies and gentlemen, sorry about that, but let's get back and talk about rugs. Valerie, we're going to jump right into it.
Let's.
Okay. After I babbled for like 12 minutes. All right. What are the 3 most important things to consider when you are selecting a rug?
Great question. There's a lot of components, I would say, to narrow it to 3. I can do, I think 4, but 3. So probably one of the most important things, obviously, is going to be color. Like you're not going to even look at the rug until the color works for the space and what you're trying to accomplish. So, and that's, by the way, how people usually choose a lot of things in home furnishings outside of rugs is
Mhm.
the very first thing they go with is what color are we or color palette we're working with.
Absolutely.
So color would be probably the most important. Then typically I would say size is going to be maybe the next most important thing. Some people may disagree with that, but the size typically in the room, a lot of people like to go at least an 8x10 or bigger.
Mhm.
And I think that's really important, especially as the home sizes in the metro and just in general get bigger. We're seeing 8x10s, 9x12s. So the size in the room, and making sure you never go small. If you're ever like in between rug sizes, it's always more important to go to the larger size versus back to that smaller size.
When people are no doubt inclined to go with the smaller because it's cheaper.
Because
But-
it's right, less expensive. Absolutely. People would, maybe choose that, but I say go bigger.
I agree completely from a design perspective, and I'm assuming that you would agree. I mean, chairs half on, half off a rug, it just doesn't work. It cuts your furniture in half. It makes the room it doesn't tie the room together.
It doesn't tie the room together as well. Sometimes in a small room, you have no choice but to only put front legs on the rug.
Mhm.
That's sort of like the bare minimum standard. But really, I love to see kind of all or most of the furniture up on that rug. Even though you're covering up part of it, it's really grounding the spatial arrangement, making it feel like a cozy space versus just pieces sitting together. So
You're creating a visual containment without having walls.
without having walls.
Love it.
Correct.
All right.
And then the third most important thing about choosing a rug, I would say, is going to be like the activity going on in the room and choosing the right rug durability wise. Are there pets involved? Are you having Red Wine of the Month Club? Are you having Rotary Club? Rotary Club might be coming over. And so we certainly don't want to have viscose, 100% viscose rug if, Red Wine of the Month Club and Rotary Club are, let's say, coming over, at the same time.
A most
because-
excellent point.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. So just making
'Cause-
sure the fiber and the durability like match up to the activities in that room, I think is really important.
And viscose is always a challenge. Everyone loves it. It's soft, it's lush. Some people sell it as natural, and you can argue that it is natural. It's made out of bamboo fiber, correct?
Correct.
That goes through a rigorous process. And it comes out absolutely beautifully. But yeah, no, there's nothing that ever comes out of viscose.
It has some limitations, and viscose is good in certain environments. But the one limitation it does have, there is nothing underneath your kitchen sink or in your laundry room that can clean a viscose rug. So
Right.
it does need to be sent out to not only a professional, but a professional who is used to cleaning and can actually accomplish the cleaning of the rug. A lot of rug experts in the cleaning world will say, oh yeah, we can do viscose, but really need to make sure they can, because viscose cleaned incorrectly
It comes back kind of crunchy and dried. You lose the color. It can be a nightmare. Viscose is a fabulous product. Viscose rugs are gorgeous, but do not put it in your front hall. Do not put it in your dining room, probably.
not at the Four Seasons Hotel in the lobby.
I think that would be a
No.
bad choice.
Yeah, that would be a really bad choice.
What is the most durable fabric?
So, there's a lot of argument whether man-made fibers like polyester, polypropylene are the most durable. Some people feel like wool is the most durable. I think actually both, and it depends on sort of the environment. I think they do equal things, but if there are pets involved, I tend to lean towards polypropylene because it tends to repel a bit, where wool, even with the lanolin around it, can tend to kind of pull in a little bit and wick a little bit. So it just depends really if there's pets or not. But honestly, wool, polypropylene, polyester, and we don't use the nylons as much, or the other man-made fibers. We're a lot polyester, polypropylene, but I'd say they almost do an equal job, except if pets are involved, then I would lead
To polypropylene.
Polypropylene.
What's the best selling? What are most people buying at this point?
I would say equal amounts.
Really?
I think in the Midwest, people still, the demographic, kind of the age group demographic, sometimes, people that are, a little advanced in age, unlike you, Greg.
Do you see the gray beard?
Yeah.
For a 29-year-old, I look quite
mean,
aged.
You, for 29, it's just, you look amazing.
Well, thank you very much.
The
For 52, I look like hell.
no, don't let your dog tell you that. That's not fair.
Thank you.
No, I would say honestly, people that from the Midwest, generally speaking, have sort of a tendency to lean towards wool because they just understand it. They're familiar with it. They experience a lot of it in ready to wear, so they know what it can and can't do. So I think there's a comfort level with wool. But honestly, when you explain polyesters and polypropylenes and how they can actually perform as well, in some cases better, then those are some viable arguments to have. But yeah, I'd almost say it's split, honestly.
It makes sense. I mean, because again, there are different uses and they're in different places. So what have you? What about styles relative to fabrics or not fabrics, but material? I mean, if it's a traditional rug, does it make any difference? Are you most likely going to find that in wool? Do most contemporaries come as polypropylene?
So that's actually a great question. We typically do most of our contemporaries do come in the shape and form of the opening price point polyester polypropylenes, or a few in the actually hand knotted viscose world.
Mhm.
And then I would say updated traditionals, some urban looks, but updated traditional come really in the wool. Traditionals and updated, that's kind of how they come. And we're doing some mid-century moderns and things like that. But no, I would say the majority of our contemporaries are actually coming in that opening price point polyester polypropylene. And kind of one of the things we're known for is actually making an upper end looking product in an opening price point fiber.
Well, you have a vast line of products. I mean, I can't even imagine how many. I mean, do you have any idea how many styles you guys offer? It must be thousands.
It's into the thousands, and I feel like we're probably up over 300 collections at this point in time. A lot.
It's amazing. See, this is why, and Megan, this will not surprise you in any way, but this is why when I go to High Point, and you and I always meet in High Point because you guys have the best Bloody Marys
known to man.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. But whenever I do, I generally just turn Carl over to you guys, and then I sit there and drink because I cannot understand. I mean, so many rugs, so many permutations. If you're not a trained designer, if you don't really know this, you are a babe in the woods, and some critter's going to eat you.
I would say that's true. We should stick to what we're good at. And, you do that when you're at High Point, and I applaud you for that. And then Carl is also, honestly, not only is Carl, and I mean this, not only is Carl truly one of the most talented designers I've seen. I've seen his work. He picks things. He has got so much confidence in what he does, and typically he picks our best stuff. And I don't know how he does it. He's decisive and he's delightful to have in the showroom, and just a brilliant and just a kind man.
Thank you. I hope to God he doesn't hear this, because the last thing Carl needs is
a bigger head. Right?
I know. Oh my God. No, it is truly. I mean, within just a few seconds, my head is spinning when I walk into that showroom. But it is so filled with gorgeous.
It's 30,000 square feet. So most people, and especially when you're in the middle of the day, when you might have 400 people in the showroom. I mean, yes, but Carl can maneuver those racks like nobody's business.
I know.
And he does it with such ease and grace.
I know.
He makes it look effortless.
Carl is an amazing man. I will raise our French 75 to Carl Peltier, our expert senior designer at Habitation Furnishing and Design. We should probably take yet another break because I need to refill my French 75. So once again, when we come back, we're talking more about rugs. I think this has been a really useful conversation so far. God knows what we have next.
Who knows?
Indeed. All right. Stick with us, ladies and gentlemen. This is Drinking the Style.
Thinking it helps your point of view.
God bless Dean Martin.
And you know what? So we put on Pandora when we were on the Amalfi Coast.
Okay.
Overlooking the water. And we put on Dean Martin like on Pandora, and it was
perfect.
Like perfection.
I adore Dean Martin. So look, if I have to choose, I will listen to Sinatra first. I mean, he's better. But if I had to choose who to be, it would be Dean Martin.
Yeah. I didn't realize that Dean and Frank had a little bit of a rift for a period of time, and then they pulled it back together.
Yes, exactly.
Is he your spirit animal?
Dean Martin?
Yeah.
Yes, he is. Yes, he is my spirit animal. And I'm going to use that line now, always.
Spirit animal.
You're welcome.
I mean, I do. You've all heard about the Dean Martin spiritual fast that I do.
The month long where you really don't eat much and you just do other things.
I eat nothing. I just drink. Yeah. Until I get to whatever weight I choose to be, or I pass out somewhere and have to be dragged
and your
home.
wife buys into this, which is hilarious.
Generally.
Really though?
Generally.
Yeah. Christina has certain feelings on it, but
That's funny.
it works for me. The weirdest thing is, I've said this a million times. I feel better. I feel so much better. It's like I'm running on ethanol and learning on beautiful, clean burning alcohol. The
I
blood
will
goes to your
never
head, so you
understand.
think more
Here's
clearly.
a thought.
I don't.
How about trying some exercise?
Do you have any idea how hard exercise is?
So I do. I actually do.
When you first start, yes.
When you first start, it's literally the worst
It's
thing.
hell.
But then after 6, 8, 9 weeks, and you start to get in your comfort zone. I joined Orange Theory back in March, and I'm not a group fitness or B, a regimented. I'm like when I feel like doing it. And so I'm going on, 7 months. It literally changed my life.
It becomes it's a mess. Hold on.
Uh-oh.
Hey, just lick it off the table. Like we
These
I have
paper towels in there?
napkins.
Oh my God, the woman is so prepared.
Oh, wow. Man,
Yeah,
you
no,
are prepared. Yes.
I mean, I know what you're saying within certain contexts. Now, from a perspective of cardio work, I grew up with asthma. I actually didn't grow up with asthma. I grew up with an infection apparently in my lungs that kept me sick as a child throughout. But I almost never did any cardio because it would be a nightmare. So anything I do, I get shin
Did you want
splints
that-
like you
no.
couldn't imagine.
You want to use my original? You have-
No, that one was just sitting. So
Okay.
Start
So
Classy place.
I
I'm
did
all-
too. And then I went to
Mhm.
Orange Theory,
Really?
and then I ran my first 5K, and I did not get shin splints.
I'll give you props though. Like I hate running.
I've hated running my entire life. I have a
Yeah.
Facebook post right now that says I've despised, because I don't usually use the word hate, but
Right.
I've despised running my entire life because I could never run my entire life. I went to Orange Theory. I trained like it's the rowing machine, it's the treadmill, and then it's the floor. And I built up muscles, and I figured out how to not do shin splints anymore, and it's life changing. And I had to quit track. I had to quit running so many times because I couldn't do it. So it's the first time I could run.
Did you have a personal trainer or anything?
Orange Theory.
I had a personal trainer once. I fired him. How dare he tell me what to do? Do you have any idea who I am?
I mean, don't you know
No,
it's
I'm,
me? It's
I'm paying
Greg.
you money. You lift the fucking weights.
Yeah,
Oh,
no,
God.
listen, my son got married, and when you were sick and Megan called and said we couldn't do the last one, and I was like, that's okay, my son's getting married. But I did Orange Theory so that I could look okay in a dress and not
Really?
be embarrassed. And I'm just, yeah.
But you always look good.
Group
Seriously.
No.
fitness.
No, I never have.
All right. I probably got to get us going here.
Okay,
on
Oh,
this.
my
Sorry.
apologies.
Yeah,
Yes,
no
of course,
problem.
Of course.
Just
All
we
right.
get the third one in. Yep. All right. You guys ready? Here we go.
So ready.
Here we go.
Blue moon, you saw me standing alone, without a dream in my heart.
Oh, that is so pretty, isn't it?
I love that song.
I hated the 50s version from Chubby Checker or something, but the way she does it is so,
Sultry.
It is sultry. As you may or may not know, I'm a fan of sultry.
Seldom used but highly effective word.
Completely agreed. You use that and someone will pay attention to the next thing you say. Agreed. All right. This is Drinking the Style, where we're enjoying the sultry tones of Valerie Underwood from Loloi Rugs. All right, Valerie.
Greg.
It sounds really, really like I'm about to ask like a serious, massive question.
We need to talk.
Feel practically interrogated.
Valerie, we need to talk.
Come into my office. You're gonna shut the door.
See me. Yeah. It's written on the invoice last time. No, let's talk about a Loloi itself, because the rugs are fabulous. I wanted to start out with that because that's what people care about. But the company that you work for has become, within 20, 30 years, one of the dominant players in the rug market, correct?
We consider ourselves really lucky and really blessed that we have come as far as we have in 18 years. We were a a tiny company of just a handful of people in 2004. I think there were less than 6 total people that were in the company back in 2004. And Amir is probably regarded in the industry as one of the biggest visionaries, and just he takes really amazing calculated risks, and it's been an incredible journey, an incredible ride. So for me in particular, I've known Amir 25 years, longer than Loloi existed. I knew him from a previous rug company, and yes, we're extremely lucky that we have the talented staff and the talent in the product development team. And
Amir Loloi is a formidable man. He is, the first time I met him, you can tell right away, he has vision.
It's, and it's something so rare that he actually, he has the vision, he has the risk taking, but calculated. He has the talent. He's one of the only, well, no, not one of, he is the only owner of a rug company that is also the head of the product development team, and that there's no other company in the world where that's one and the same. And that's unique. His passion for rugs is like something I have never seen in my entire life. And it's breathtaking, honestly, to just watch how much he cares every minute of every day. Like, you would think he would just it would be so much you would want to break. And I will tell you, Loloi and his family and that's really his life.
I believe it. You're passionate about it. And the reason that Loloi is as successful as it is because he has that passion, because that is truly what he wants to do.
It is. And you know what? It's also the drive. One of the stories people don't know about Amir. So he came over from overseas, and he lived in Texas, and he hardly spoke a word of English. I think he came over his sophomore or junior year of high school, and he was in Texas, in Dallas, I think, living with an aunt and uncle. And he decided he should have an ice cream route to make money. And so the way the ice cream route worked is, if you were the number one salesperson for the week, you would get, I think it was a free gallon or 2 of ice cream that then you could just go ahead and sell. He worked 14 hours a day, like 7 days a week during the summers. He was the number one salesperson at that ice cream company for the entire time.
Wow.
Every week.
He was Mr. Frosty.
Well, perhaps. But, so when you come into the showroom, we always have ice cream, hand scooped ice cream, or we always have ice cream treats that we're walking around with. And it's really a tribute to like his roots and like where he came from. And he never forgot like how hard it is to start something, and just to be, continually be passionate about it. So
good for him. What ice cream goes with a Bloody Mary?
I'm going to say Rocky Road.
I think that actually kind of maybe works. Pistachio might be nice too.
Pistachio might be nice.
What?
I don't know that I've ever been asked that. So it's hard to come up with, the best flavor off the cuff.
This show is groundbreaking. Johnson, don't you agree?
Truly.
Absolutely.
Tackling the hard issues.
Ice cream and Bloody Marys.
Yeah. Breakfast of champions.
Exactly.
Breakfast of champions. Bloody Marys and ice cream, not just for breakfast anymore.
Absolutely true. That said, I am now thinking someone needs to make a Bloody Mary flavored ice cream.
Okay, I'm actually down for that.
I know
an ice cream maker in Lincoln, Nebraska. I'm gonna propose that flavor.
You let me know what happens.
I'm gonna keep you posted. I will.
I know you do. Thank you so much. So you brought up an interesting thing, though, that gives me a new thought, which is he's still involved in design and product creation. How does that process work at Loloi? How does a rug make its way to your rack?
So I don't actually have the full skinny and scoop. I'm going to give you my abbreviated what I know version. The product development team, of which, my gosh, we must be up to 20 people, 20 or more. Most of them have graduated from SCAD. The Savannah College of Art and Design.
Okay.
And so truly talented people, and honestly, just amazing humans. And They will start out with a concept of a direction or a color palette. They will do the CAD drawings, send them overseas. They go back forth for a period of time till we get our first sample in, and then we start to do color corrections or pattern corrections. Every size rug is then has its own CAD drawing. So like the runner has its own CAD drawing compared to the 8x11, because the 8 by, you have to scale like a motif, a middle motif to the size of the rug. And then we go back forth with samples until everything is in its final stages where it's ready to be reviewed. And there's a whole army of people practically that review like the rugs that come in, and they decide, okay, these 20 rugs came in, these 12 don't copy, mirror, overlap. The color reads true, the pattern reads true, and then they will incorporate the 20 of the 20 rugs, maybe the 12 patterns. And so that becomes then, if everyone deems it to be strong enough to take to the marketplace where we're going to get a good enough buy-in, that collection will make it to market. But there are plenty of times where I think collections come in and they couldn't either get the color or the pattern, or maybe the quality is just not quite 100%. We are really focused on having the best value, the best quality out to the marketplace. So if it doesn't resonate with everybody on the team, it gets scrapped.
Okay, so the concept I had long ago for doing a rug that has a body outline and a blood stain probably is not going to make it through.
I feel like that would be a good like Andy Warhol kind of a collection.
Right?
I mean,
can we talk about it?
Yeah,
I always thought it would be fun.
Yeah. So, I mean, let's explore this, because I think there's some merit there. I'm not sure where, but
As a consumer, I would probably buy this for Halloween.
okay. I mean,
Right.
it could be like the Freddy Krueger collection.
Right.
Just saying.
Dude, it would sell really well in like Venezuela, Colombia.
I mean,
I guess they make their own.
New York City. I mean, there's like, think of the places we could take this.
That's gonna worm its way into your brain. I guarantee at some point.
worm being the operative word there.
Completely.
But yeah, there is, I mean, and people say, well, how long does it take from start to finish? Like from concept to market showing? Like what's the time? Could be 12 to 18 months, honestly.
It's actually fairly fast, I would think.
It just, there's a lot of thought that goes into it. We do not just put something out there and say, let's see what people think. The team gets a lot of feedback first, and we try to really make sure what we're putting out there is only winners. And I will tell you, I mean, it's so breathtaking. Every market, we're like, oh my gosh, look at what Loloi did again. Look at what the team did again, and makes us very proud.
You guys are the gold standard. I mean, when you go to High Point and you go to different showrooms and things, and you start mentioning Loloi, everyone kind of bows their head and agrees that you are, again, the gold standard of rug design and space, which is why we're so happy to have you at Habitation Design.
You're very sweet, and we're really honored to have you as a partner. And you guys have been great partners for years with us. So
thank you.
Yeah, it's been a great ride. I'm continually amazed every single day, like what we do and what we come out with, and just how humble Amir is about every single aspect of it. There's no ever thought in his head that he's arrived, or that any of us feel like we've arrived. I think we feel like we're just on a continuous journey of like, how do we do better for ourselves? How do we do better for our customers? How do we be a better manager to our reps? How do we, get up every day and just make it happen and do more, better, different?
And that is a great segue as well, because obviously your role as VP of Sales is essentially to be managing, well, many things, but among your responsibilities are to be managing your reps in the area. What is that all about? What tools do the reps themselves need more than anything else?
So I think, for them, in terms of like a physical tool, I would say it'd be the 18-inch. We have 18-inch samples that we have for nearly every rug, every collection, and that is probably the number one tool that they need, because in terms of most accessories, you can show people a picture, a client, and they'll say, oh yeah, that lamp is the perfect profile, the perfect height. But when it comes to anything textile, you really need the actual physical sample to get client approval. So that's probably the number one sales tool. And then after that, I think it's it's really listening to what the reps have to say. Like, what are the customers asking for? What are they liking? What are they wanting improved? And then and not just dismissing it or not saying, oh, but don't worry about that. We can do this instead. It's like, what do they need and how can we facilitate those needs and how can we make it a partnership and how can we take those challenges and turn them into opportunities. And so, I mean, listening is important. And I always tell the reps, it's important to recognize all of our accounts and our customers and our clients and our designers and say, what do you need from Loloi outside of rugs? Like, do you need other resources? We're really a solution, and rugs is just the vehicle that we're riding in. Like, we just happen to be selling rugs, but we want to be a solution to all of our customers, accounts, clients.
And you do a great job with it. I hear music means that there's supposed to be a break, I think, and the next one. We'll be coming back in segment 4, and I'm going to ask Valerie the hard-hitting questions about the rug business. You're not going to want to miss this one. Come back in a moment,
Yeah,
folks.
please come back.
And come back with a drink. We'll
big
be here
drink.
in a
I
minute.
hope whatever you've got to do is something that can be done by two.
All
Excellent.
right. We have to move to the satellite.
Yeah, satellite room. Yep, I got to move a mic in there and we'll be set. Yep.
All right. Yeah. We need to, when we're going to. So we've always done Thursdays. We had a bunch of shows scheduled on Thursdays. So we didn't change it. But when Matt McNeil went regional, he moved from 4 o'clock to 3 o'clock.
Sure.
So now we're
All good.
scheduling. So we'll go into that studio and we'll do segment 4 there.
I'm just going to grab this mic right here that you're using.
Yes.
An extra one in there.
Yep.
Radu Jen.
Yes, sir.
Oh, we still got sparkling.
Oh,
There's a little bit in here. If you want to. Might be a little watered down, but
all
Certain
good.
people underestimate my alcoholism, which is odd.
I mean, how could they?
Can I ask a terrible question? I don't even know the answer to. Who's the rep now for us?
So Steve, Billy, and Ben, who I was in with.
Okay.
I was in with all 3 of them, 3 months ago, back in, I think, May.
Sounds about right.
Yeah. And I can make sure that they're in touch. And I think we refreshed
They
their
may be talking to
samples.
Carlo. I don't know.
And
yeah, they were in like a couple weeks ago, I feel like, too.
Okay. They're really good.
Yeah.
They're it's hard to find really, really good reps. I mean, Beth is one of the best reps. So
Yeah.
to not have her on the account, I feel like these guys are, amazing. And
Beth is fabulous.
oh my
love Beth
gosh, she's
Cousins.
amazing. Are you
Mhm.
kidding?
She was one of my first guests. Well, it was one of my first guests, but within the first year or 2 that I did this.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
How
You
fun.
can still find her if you wanted to on the program.
Oh my gosh, how fun.
All right, I'll take
Is that it?
What can I help with?
That's it. Follow, gypsies, follow.
Following.
Bibbidi 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 boo.
All right, now to you. Oh, you were kidding. You were gonna go in an on short sleeve shirt today. Or,
My mic's on.
yeah, turning that off.
Experiences with dishes from around the world. Just visit eatlocalminnesota.com for your next meal. Crooner's Supper Club invites you to Maggie's Lounge, an exciting new bar lounge. It's open Wednesdays through Sundays beginning at 4:30 for cocktails and light fare. And you don't need a ticket to enjoy the great atmosphere of Maggie's. So stop by Crooner's Supper Club off Moore Lake and Highway 65 for dinner, drinks, and live music from both big-name local and national artists. Cafe Latte combines a